The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we are the ones that have all along, since the beginning of all this, we've always encouraged you to like and share these shows on your favorite social media and with all your friends and neighbors, because it's about the events going on the Treasure Coast right now. It's the Sue Ellen Sanders Show with your host, the one and only Sue Ellen Sanders.
If you don't have all the information that you need to know about the upcoming St. Lucie County Fair, then you'll be excited to know that you're going to find it all here. And if you're driving down the road and listening to the radio and you want to write down some dates and so forth, you'll be able to find this show with Christine Ionotti, who is the general manager of the St. Lucie County Fair. You'll be able to find this show on our YouTube archives. So anyhow, with no further ado, the fair is coming up, and it starts a month from now.
37 days.
37 days. Yes, and I know who's counting. Christine, this is obviously the St. Lucie County Fair is an annual tradition, and it's not just for cowboys. It's not just for the 4-H kids. It's not just for vendors or people who like to ride rides. It's for everybody. And historically, businesses, organizations, nonprofits have all gotten involved with the fair. Which annual fair is this again?
This is number 58.
Whoa, 58.
Yep.
It's been around quite a while, and you know, as all things that are 58 are, they've changed and they've grown, and you've changed and grown and adapted to what the public wants and what St. Lucie County wants. I love following you on social media because you go to a lot of other places in the United States and check out their fairs. Why do you do that?
So we can go and learn from other fairs to see what they're doing and see how they solve issues that we may have, and network and, you know, make new friends, make new fair family. I have a lot of fair family.
And you know, in learning what the other fairs do you like experiment with the next year's fair, or how does it work? Do you come when you have a new idea, when you have something fun and exciting that you want to try? Do you have a board that you have to go to ask permission?
Yes, but I absolutely have the best board in probably the whole United States. They're amazing. So they are on board with what I want to do, actually, most of the time. Every once in a while, they're like, we don't know if we can do that.
What's new this year at the fair?
Actually, we have a lot of new stuff going on this year. We have a Wild West show. It's Andy Rotz. He's going to be in front of the Adams Arena. It is the Andy Rotz show, and it's a Wild West show, but he's going to perform on top of his trailer, his 50-foot trailer. Super excited about that. We have a stilt circus. They're going to have a different costume every single day.
A stilt circus. Yeah. So much fun.
Yep. Well, that's their name, but it's not necessarily a circus. It's just them.
They're not. They are all on stilts. They
yes.
don't necessarily have all the rest of the stuff that goes to the circus.
Yeah. Yep.
But they probably do a lot of different things. And you know, if you and I'm sure, you know, as general manager of the fair, one of the reasons you're looking at bringing the stilt circus here is because you've been to other events where they'll have typically one or two people on stilts, and everyone is just fascinated by it.
Yeah. Wait until you see the costumes. This woman, they actually live here in St. Lucie County. They just moved here from California. The costumes are absolutely gorgeous. You'll be amazed. And every single day they're going to have a different costume on. Beautiful.
That is so cool. And one of the coolest things I think about people who do you say walk on stilts, operate on stilts? I don't know what
Walk on
the
stilts,
verb
I
is.
think,
Yes,
yeah.
Are a part of a stilt family is they make it look so easy.
Oh, I know. That's the other thing. Wait until you see how graceful they are. I just went to a convention in Indianapolis, and he was walking through doorways on the stilts. And I thought, if I was up there, I would just die.
I have trouble walking through doorways as a person in heels. So
Exactly. That's stilts to a whole nother level.
Yeah, that is. So 37 days. You said 37 days. New things coming up. We're going to talk about some of the new stuff. We're going to talk about some of the old stuff that's coming back, some of the regular fun things, and we'll also talk about how people can get involved with the fair.
Yes.
So 37 days, and of course we're recording this a little bit earlier than when it's playing. So by the time it plays on the weekend, or you listen to it on the weekend, or you might listen to it on demand, it'll be just close to 30 days. And so what is happening in your life and the fair's life now, 30 days out? What is everybody doing?
We're getting all the signs ready, finalizing all the sponsorships from the community. We have great community partners. Mulching, painting, staining, doing all of that work. A lot of people don't know that the fair is a nonprofit and that we're not part of the county. So the Fair Association purchased that property 20-something years ago, and then decided that the Fair Association couldn't really give it the care that it needed. So we partnered with the county. So the county owns the property, but we kind of rent back that property at fair time. But we are a local nonprofit, like a lot. How many nonprofits do we have? 4,000, I think, in St. Lucie County. So, we're just getting ready, sprucing up the fairgrounds the way that we want it to look when people come for our 10-day event.
And of course, so what's the actual opening day?
Opening day is February 24th, which is a Friday. We do have a ribbon cutting ceremony at 3:45. We got drumline coming in, and the chamber, Teresa and the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce is going to come, and it's a big deal. We're excited. We have a little blessing over the fair, and we open the gates and let everybody in. Friday night is usually a super busy night because we have the PRCA rodeo. So we have all those cowboys coming in from all over.
Tell me more about the PRCA.
Yep.
PRCA.
So it's Friday and Saturday night, opening weekend. It starts at 7:30. It's free with admission. You definitely want to come early so you can get your seat, because it's always a sellout. But it's free with admission, and we have calf roping and bull riding.
Does that happen on opening weekend every year?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's a regular event, and
yes.
people may be aware of that. And then, you kick it off over the weekend. You have that first weekend filled with activity. Which of the opening events that first weekend is great for families, which is great for teenagers, young people, older kids? What would you say is, as the weekend progresses?
We have something for everybody. Even from the little kids, from like a year old. We have new this year a ladybug exhibit. So the kids can go in and feel and touch the butterflies and let them land on them, and then release them. A ladybug exhibit. It's this big, huge, like inflatable ladybug with lots of ladybugs inside. Yeah. And then we also have a butterfly garden, which is, very quiet. It's just, another area of the fair that is very family and younger oriented, I guess.
It's the type of place that little kids can kind of move around in. They don't have to sit and follow and be stuck in a stroller.
Yeah.
And then I know, when it comes to the rides, you have certain rides that are for the younger kids, and then others that are for everybody.
Right. We usually have 42 rides, between 38 and 42 rides. But we have a whole kiddie section. We have the whole adult section. So, yeah, that's for the older kids and the littles.
And if you've lived in St. Lucie County for your whole parenting life like I have kids who are now 28 and 29. So I've gone through all the different stages of the St. Lucie County Fair with them. Gone through the stages where they were only old enough for the kiddie rides, or the stages where the most fascinating thing was the animals and going around the animals, the different foods. Then the stage where they knew what they wanted to see and they wanted to go see the shows, because you have shows.
Yeah.
And then the stage where they were teenagers and we were dropping them off with their friends, and then I see you rolling your eyes. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it happens.
They were well-behaved teenagers.
They were well-behaved.
I heard.
Yes. I'm not rolling my eyes.
Yeah, and then as young adults, coming back and just looking at the exhibits, because you have all of the exhibits. You have contests. You have events. You have animals.
Yeah. We probably have 70 to 90 events every single day between all of the shows that we have. The contest, you're right. We have a donut eating contest, which we did last year. We're doing it again this year. It's on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I'm excited about that. So you can get more information at stluciecountyfair.org about that. You can win $100 for adults, and under 17, you can win $25. But we did that last year. It was a blast.
You have to qualify for it?
No, you just have to. Well, we have limited space, so you just have to make sure that you register and go from there. But we have our Demolition Derby, which is another contest. We have our Fair Queen contest.
And I have to say, I've known several Fair Queens over the years and taught them. And these are young ladies that are not just pretty on the outside, but they're pretty on the inside too, and they have been devoted to their pigs or their cows or their chickens and their 4-H activities, and giving back to the community through agriculture, and they have really strong ties to the ag community, and it's awesome to see their, if you've ever. And the Fair Queen contest is open.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yep, it sure is. Open to St. Lucie County residents. You have to be in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. All the requirements, all the rules and regulations. The application is still open. It's only open until January 31st. So, yeah, they can get all the information there.
And when the contest that you have itself, where you have the young ladies walk up on stage, have they already pre-qualified and they're the finalists, or is that everybody?
That's everybody. We do it all that night.
Cool.
Yep. So
cool.
That's Wednesday night at 6 o'clock.
And that would be the following Wednesday,
the 22nd. Yeah, the 22nd of February. So it's the Wednesday before we open.
So once the fair opens on your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, are you open straight through the following weekend?
Yes. Yep. We're open 10 consecutive days.
Yes. So there's no day off in between.
No day off. But on the weekdays, we don't open till 4 o'clock. So we get a little bit of rest. And we all need that.
And then there's certain days that are better, and there's certain to come if you were trying to avoid a crowd. And there's certain days, you have concerts, you have different activities, and people can find out day by day your whole list of activities by going to St. Lucie Countyfair.org.
Yes. Yep. Right there it says event schedule.
And are there still things that are being added to it?
Everything I think is up there as of now, unless we decide to add something else. I think the only thing that's not on there, so we don't have a very big presence of dairy cows. So we're bringing in a mobile classroom, which will be in our activity center, where there's a dairy cow in there, and she's going to get milked. I think 4 times a day, and there'll be a woman there that is doing a presentation about dairy cows.
And how to milk them.
And how to milk them and what it means to us as consumers.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool.
Yes.
And there's still a lot of kids who don't realize that the milk actually does come from the cow, that it doesn't come from the grocery store.
Yes. A lot of people, do think that. Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So you do have, so that first weekend you have the rodeo on Friday night, and then usually Saturday night, Sunday night is when you have concerts, correct?
We're not doing like a big concert, but we have a lot of local musicians that are coming and some national acts, but they're not like,
Not one big, like everybody comes up. Yeah.
No. Not Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean, if you're listening, we want you to come to the fair.
And if he does show up and knocks on your door and says, Christine, I'd like to perform, you will find a place for him to perform. Okay, awesome.
100%.
So you will also, even if you're not checking on the website, as you come into the fair, you'll get literature on what's going on that day.
Yes. Yep. Yes, that is correct. So we have the schedules posted. When you walk up, you'll see if it's $1 day or $2 day, which is something new. Okay. So we took carload day away. So we're doing $2 Tuesday.
So is Monday dollar day?
Nope. Okay, Monday and Wednesday are free days.
Okay.
Tuesday is $2 day. So we're doing $2 admission, $2 rides, and $2 food bites. Thursday is dollar day.
Okay.
And then on Saturday is Kids Day, so from 12 to 5, anybody under 12 is $1. And then on Sunday, we partner with Seacoast Bank and with Mustard Seed of Fort Pierce. If you bring in 2 cans of food, then you get $2 off of your admission into the fair, and those cans go to Mustard Seed.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And speaking of partnerships, the other big thing about the fair is that you do have partnerships and sponsorships with just about everybody in town.
Not everybody,
but
there's a lot. It's pretty, and you know what? They are consecutive. They are, they want to be a part of the fair every single year. Most of them are not going anywhere ever. Something about the fair that is super cool is these people that are on the board, these people that have been coming to the fair, people that want to, come and work with us and volunteer, they've been coming to the fair for generations, So you have a conversation with them and they say, oh, well, my great-grandma did this or my grandfather did that or, so we appreciate all of those people and all those generations of people that are continuing to help the fair thrive.
How long have you been with the fair?
This is my 4th fair.
What have you found out? What are some of the secrets that you found out now that you work behind the scenes that you kind of wish you knew before you worked for the fair?
Secrets?
Or they may be things that other people know that aren't necessarily common knowledge. Now, we know that there's some days that are a lot cheaper to go, especially for people with large families.
Right. I think that, if you really go on the website and you take a look, you will see that there is something for everyone. Whether somebody wants to come and see a bunny or a duck or a chicken, they want to purchase a market animal, they want to enter something into the home arts display where it's maybe, your grandfather makes some woodworking things in the garage in his spare time and he lives in St. Lucie County and you want to enter him into the fair, or the school building, I feel like a lot of people don't know what that is, but we've partnered with Kiwanis. The Kiwanis Club has that building, and the schools register, and they can win thousands of dollars by doing a display in that building.
And
the community votes.
Usually the display is something that obviously has to do with education and the school itself. And I know for years, the schools that my kids went to, the art teacher was always the one that was in charge of working on the display. And we've seen some beautiful ones over the years. There are a lot of other exhibits and ways to compete. You know, you mentioned the woodworking, but you know, what if you want to compete by baking or canning? Or what's it called when you have like sauces and stuff? Is that canning?
It's like, well, it's on our website. It says candies, jellies, and
So
we have that too. That's on Monday and Wednesday night of the fair. Yep. So it's free admission. Again, you go to the stluciecountyfair.org and look up home arts, and you'll see the information of when you can bring those items in, and it's the day of. So you're right. It's cakes and pies and candy and sauces and relish and all that good stuff, and we actually taste it.
Yes, we do. and I've been lucky enough a couple times to be one of the judges. For one time I did the jellies and jams, and that was a hoot because there's some really brave flavors that are out there. And then another time we did baked goods, and I found that the baked goods, the competition wasn't just for adults. There was a competition for kids as well. And some of the kids baking was just phenomenal.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So you mentioned that I traveled around to some other fairs. I got blessed with the opportunity to go to the Alaska State Fair.
And so cool.
It was very cool, but they had some super like savory pies. I didn't get to taste anything, but they were just very different flavors. And now all of a sudden that I said that I can't tell you what they were, but different.
But that makes me wonder. So the different area and state and parts of the country fairs you go to, the emphasis might be a little different. Like, you know, we're all about the cattle and the beef and the livestock more so here. But, you know, in Alaska, did they have like moose tastings and
No, I didn't see that, but they definitely had, the vendors that they had moose sausage and reindeer sausage. I didn't taste any of it. I was like, I can't do that.
So do the different fairs, not just Alaska, but the different fairs that you've been to, do they have different focuses that illuminate the livelihood of whatever that state and that area offers?
Yeah, I'm from upstate New York, so I'm blessed to go home in the summertime. So when I go there, they have a very big presence of dairy, where we don't. Until, well, I mean, we do have a little bit of dairy, but this year with that mobile dairy classroom, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for everybody to come and take a seat on a hay bale and listen and get educated on the dairy cows.
What are some of the other things that you've seen at various fairs that you thought were fun and exciting, that were different? And what are some of the things that are kind of standard that everybody does?
That's really hard, because like a lot of the stuff that's in Alaska is local for there, right? They do fly some people out there, but like their vegetables are giant. Huge. I can't remember how big the pumpkin was, but it was like 3,000 pounds or something. It was ridiculously giant. The eggplants and the pumpkins and the zucchini and just all of that, they were huge. But some things that are standard, I guess, are a lot of the acts. We have, we're part of the Florida Federation of Fairs. There's IAFE. So we all.
What's IAFE?
I knew you were gonna ask me,
Okay.
and I'm so bad.
International Fair. That's okay.
It's fairs and expositions.
Okay.
It's the International Association of. Yeah, I'm drawing
That's
a blank.
Okay. No,
International Association of Fairs and Expositions.
Okay. So it's international fairs.
Yes. So there's someone from Canada, and there's fairs from Canada, and there's fairs from Australia.
Yeah.
But we all have the grounds acts, like I was telling you about the Stilt Circus. We have a magician that's coming. His name is TJ Hill. He will just absolutely amaze you. So he'll be walking around talking to people. We have a strolling piano, which is different. It's super cool.
So does he wear the piano?
No, he's sitting there playing the piano, and someone has a remote control that is moving him through the crowd.
Moving him.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that'll clear the crowd.
Yeah. So that's kind of new. But I saw him at a different fair. I was in upstate New York. I went to the Erie County Fair, and I saw him, and I was like, that is super cool. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like to travel around, so you can see what maybe we've never had over here. Mm-hmm. But they all go to the conventions, and they're all at the trade shows saying, hey, this is what I do. I'd love to come to your fair, or I'm not booked at this time. So I also try to stay with an agricultural fair that I go visit, because sometimes there's just like those parking lot carnivals, which I've been to them too, where it's just the rides and the concessions, but there's no animals. Our fair is an agricultural fair. Right. That's why we're here. We're here to teach the community about agriculture. We're here so the kids can sell their market animals, and so they can, provide education to the community as well. So that's why we have the St. Lucie County Fair. Everything else is just fluff.
Fun fluff.
Fun fluff.
Yes. Speaking of fun fluff, fair food.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Is that the same everywhere, or does that vary?
No. So back to Alaska, walking through their little food section over there, and I looked up and I see this sign that says pickle lemonade. And I thought, nope, I don't want to try that. But they had people there, filleting salmon right there, showing you how to do it, cooking it for you. I mean, it's different. We wouldn't have anybody doing that here, right?
No, yeah. But that sounds good. It sounds to me better than a fried Oreo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's different kind of food. We actually have a new food vendor this year, and he's making. Have you seen those like Asian corn dogs or something? It's like this big giant piece of cheese, and they dip it in like corn batter, and then they fry it. So it's just a giant cheese stick.
A giant fried cheese.
Giant fried cheese. Yeah, it's a giant mozzarella
What is
stick.
Not to love about that, right?
So that's a new food item, and we're still waiting to hear back from our vendors what our food items are. So.
And the desserts at the fair.
Yeah.
And is it true that they can fry anything?
Yeah, they fry ice cream and Snickers and Oreos.
And Oreos, yeah.
Yep. One of my favorite things about our fair is our donuts. Josephine Donuts, who's sponsoring our donut eating contest. Everyone stops there on the way out. It's like the last booth before you exit, and his donuts are just amazing. They melt in your mouth.
We'll have to watch for that.
Yes.
So the whole fair itself, 10 days, starting on Friday night, going all through the weekend, the whole week, and then the following weekend, and then everything shuts down on Sunday?
Yes. Sunday about 10 o'clock.
At night?
Yes. Yep.
So it's a long weekend.
The school building, the home arts building, and the community building. We have a community building. Those kind of close a little bit early. We would like for them to stay open you know,
But you have to have
we're
people inside.
right,
Yeah.
and sometimes it just turns into a static display. But we would like for people to stay in there. Actually, this year, our last Sunday, it's got a whole Latin theme. So we're having mariachi dancers, we're having Latin bands all Sunday, March 5th. Sorry. So
and you're when you talk about the fair circuit, you have a certain date that's set on the fair circuit. So even though the actual start date of the fair might change, it's the same week
yes,
every year.
It's always the last Friday in February our fair starts at. So you're talking about fair circuit. A lot of people think that the fair just gets up and goes from one town to the next, and maybe it was that way a long time ago, but there's so many different ride companies. There's a lot of different food vendors, craft vendors. For example, South Florida is going on right now. Their fair is on for 3 weeks. There's another fair going on right now that's in Manatee County on the west coast of Florida. They're both different ride operators, right? Ride companies, and same with us. So our ride operators, they start out in Osceola, and then they jump to us a couple of weeks later, and then they will play the Indian River Firefighters Fair.
And
then
usually,
they go from there.
if I remember, there's some overlap with the Martin County Fair and St. Lucie County Fair.
Martin County doesn't overlap us. I think their opening day. Sorry, Jay, I can't remember your dates. They
Is it
open
before or after?
It's before.
Okay.
I know they're open usually on Valentine's Day, so
Uh-huh.
it's like
So middle of February. So I'm looking
yeah.
at the calendar. They probably start on a Friday night too.
Yes.
That would give it maybe February 10th.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And there's always, a lot of things that are going on. And the best part of the fair is there's things that are on the schedule, and then there's things that you didn't know were going to be happening, like the roving piano person.
Yeah.
And then you've got the food, you've got the buildings filled with all different exhibits to look at, and generally, knock on wood, we'll all pretend we're knocking on wood, that time of year is Chamber of Commerce weather.
Oh, I know. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's funny because right now it's fair weather, where it's kind of a little bit cool in the morning. It warms up around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then it gets hot, and then all of a sudden it gets cold again. So that's what I call fair weather.
I call it Chamber of Commerce weather, but that's all where you're coming from,
exactly.
doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
If people want to get involved, and we talked about how you could enter pies and cakes in the baking competition, or jams and jellies and relishes. You could. Do you still have a photography exhibit?
Yes. Yeah. And drawings and Legos and pottery, all kinds of things.
Wait,
yes.
people compete on Legos too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So what building is that in?
That's in the Home Arts building.
Okay.
There's just so many different divisions, so you really have to go to the website, click on Home Arts. There's a Home Arts premium book in there. Adults don't win money, but the kids do. So we have your kid enter whatever it is. We'd love to have them. We'd love to give them some premium money and a ribbon.
And it's fun for them to, because I remember one year my daughter entered a photography exhibit, and so all she cared about that whole night was coming in and seeing where it was on the wall.
Yeah. Yep.
It was.
Yeah.
So it's exciting for them to see and to know that other people who are coming in and going to the fair get to see their stuff, or see their, with the livestock exhibit, the cows and the what else you got? Your cows,
We
chickens,
have steers, pigs, horses. Actually, I heard a rumor. I'll tell you all now. We're pretty sure we're gonna have the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's exciting. We're excited about that. There's 99.9% that we're going to have the Clydesdales. We're excited
Will
about
they
that.
come on a certain day? Or?
They'll be there opening day.
Wow,
Yep.
that's fun.
Yes.
That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Are you already selling ticket packages now?
Yes. So advanced tickets are on sale now. You can save up to $7 on each admission. So and you don't have to wait in line. You can just walk right up to the advanced gate, get your ticket scanned, and you're in the door. So.
And you have packages that include ride packages as well?
We do not, actually. We're selling mega passes. The mega passes are available right now, which is daily admission and unlimited rides every single day. So that armband, the ride band, is good every day. It's only good for one person, but those are on sale right now. And then advanced admission, which is $8 for an adult. So $8 to come all day long and see 80 different things is a good deal.
Yeah. and also the mega pass for the rides, if you do have teenagers who are going to be going at least both weekends,
right,
and maybe a little bit in between, those rides can add up.
Yes, it's definitely worth it. The mega pass is the best deal around.
So, and you said that people can still enter things like, the Fair Queen up until the end of January.
Yeah.
How about sponsorships? Can people still, what are the types of sponsorships that you have?
We have benches, we have tables, we have...
Wait, so they put their name...
They put their name on there, yes.
Okay.
Yep, so they can have the life of the bench or the life of the picnic table.
Do they come and paint it, or they put a sign on it, or how does that
No,
work?
we make the signs.
Okay.
We make the signs, and we put it on there, and then we put them around the property. So
for people to rest.
Yes.
And sit.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so if you've always wanted your face on a bench, you could actually
That's
do
right.
that. So benches, tables,
flags. We have flags. We have a lot of different things, and we can work with any budget. Honestly, we just want people to come out and have a good time and be a part of the fair.
I know there's always been some buildings where people set up, especially businesses set up, and then they hand out information or freebies to promote their business.
Yes.
Which building is that in?
So that's the commercial building. That's next to the Home Arts building. There's actually 3 buildings that look very similar. So the first one is that Home Arts building. The middle one is the Kiwanis building, the school building. And then the one that is the most west on the property is the the community building. So like the Historical Society is in there. The Lions Club is in there doing their testing. The health department, those kind of organizations are in there, so you can go in and, get some information and use those resources for you and your family.
What kind of testing is Lions Club doing?
They usually do the
eyes and ears?
They do your eyes, and they do your fingers to check your sugar.
Okay. And then the health department, do they do any testing too?
I haven't heard if they're going to do any testing as of yet, but I know at some other events they do, and usually, they do whatever I guess is hot at the moment. Like they were doing all the COVID tests and COVID shots. Thank God that's over. I know at some health fairs they were doing like STD testing and things like that, but I really don't know what they're doing this year. It varies every year. I can't tell you that.
Speaking of COVID, let's talk in general about safety at the fair, because one of the things that you're tasked with every year is you've got 10 days of all these people coming out to the fair. And so you want to make sure that no one gets in a fight, that nobody is exposing somebody else to some type of disease. How do people come to the fair and keep their family safe?
Well, I'm glad you said that. So new this year, we have walk-through gates that will detect any kind of weapon. So once you pay your admission, you have to walk through the gate. So I think that will help, and that will, not, God forbid, we haven't had anything like that happen.
No, but it's
yeah.
with the laws in the state of Florida.
Yes.
For better or for worse. There's a concern that, you're in a crowd of people and you could be randomly hurt by some type of weapon. And so you've already preempted that type of, and so you just have the setup where people have to walk through.
Yep, they will be set up, and then we'll be wanding, and the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Joe Bell is the head of our security during fair, him and Lieutenant McIntosh. They're just absolutely amazing. We work very well together. We've had numerous meetings about numerous different things, and we just all stay in communication, and there are undercover people from different organizations throughout the area and throughout the state that are at the fair.
And then there's also the people that are visible.
Yes.
Too, because that's always nice to see.
Yes.
Somebody who's visible and that can just help you if you have a lost kid or something of that nature too.
Yep.
As far as health concerns, you have, there's certain protocol that, people can do to take care of themselves too. And you're creating, like with the walk-through gates, you try to avoid like big crunches of crowds, not having like one big exciting concert also creates a situation where if you have little concerts, you don't have any one big crowd.
Right. I mean, we do have that big crowd. We do have the big crowd that's for the rodeo, but a lot of the other areas, you're right, it's small, but the pig races, everybody loves the pig races. We probably had 300 people standing there watching those little pigs.
Isn't that the one that WPSL sponsors?
Yes it is.
I thought so.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know they've sponsored that for years.
For many years, yeah. They're really good people.
Yeah. And what day is the pig races? There's several
days. The pig races are every day.
Oh, they're every day.
Every day.
Oh.
They're like,
I knew they were every day that I ever went, but I wasn't sure if that was just coincidence.
No, they're every day. And that's that area that I was talking about that we added to where the butterfly exhibit is, where the ladybugs are. We actually added a stage over there too. So that's Garber Way. Mm-hmm. So there's another community partnership that we have. They sponsored that area. So we have the pig races, we have the tent, we have the free laser tag over there, and then we have Louie's comedy show over there. So he's a little red-nosed guy, and he's going to be doing some.
It's a little bit more family
stuff. Oh, yeah. It's all,
yeah.
Yep.
And, when we're talking about health concerns, you're in an outdoor arena, too. Mm-hmm. So that in itself, you should feel a little bit more comfortable with.
It's pretty much the fair is all outdoors, and we have hand sanitizers all over. So, you would hope that people knew or know how to wash their hands and keep themselves safe. But
and in general, like even businesses and organizations that are giving away things, they've kind of learned how to give away things safely from going from a place where you're afraid to give away anything hand to hand. Mm-hmm. Now everybody has figured out the safe ways to do that. Yep. So we got the pig races, we've got the family oriented stuff, you still have kind of like a petting zoo area that the kids could come and walk through.
Yes.
And then what is it? It's probably not a quarter anymore to
ride the
feed.
whole. The feed. I think it's like $2.
Yeah.
Not a quarter.
Yeah.
I don't even think you could buy one carrot for a quarter anymore.
So that's changed a little bit, but still, it's really cool if you have little kids to.
Something else that I wanted to tell you before I forget, the Master Gardeners, we have partnership with them. They are going to be doing demonstrations in the activity center where that mobile dairy cow is. So that should be on the website right now too. And I'm not even 100% sure what they were doing because she had just emailed it over as I was leaving. But the master gardeners are doing like make and take things for adults and kids. Yes. Yep.
So they
in that area
can learn how to, take care or make maybe a little dish garden or something of that nature.
You're right. I know that they are going to do something with succulents, but they're also talking about, what's it called when you try to make another tree grow into another one? I don't know what it's called.
What is it, Cliff?
Grafting. There you go.
The tree together.
Yes.
So you could make one tree grow into another one on purpose.
I guess, or I don't know. It's like a
male
and a female. Something. I don't know.
Oh, well, that
I don't know how to do that. I need to take the class.
That'll be very interesting. What are some? We got about 8 more minutes, a little bit less than that, maybe. What are some of the other partnerships, like the Master Gardeners, that make the fair such a special community event?
God, if I name one, I'm going to be in trouble. Let's see. Seacoast Bank, I already told you about them. Tommy Hawkins Paving, Affordable Bail Bonds, Superior Floors.
I mean, some of the like the Master Gardeners are bringing their gardening expertise.
Yep. And so is Heathcote. I'm pretty sure Heathcote Botanical Garden is going to be a part of that as well. We're trying to get the Orchid Society to come. I don't know if that has happened or not. I actually just reached out to the Florida Indian Heritage because I would love for them to have a presence at the fair.
How do you get the word out about the fair? I mean, where do you go to get the word out? I mean,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Have you seen me lately?
Yes, I know.
I try to talk about the fair every day, all day long. I feel like, people are like, oh my gosh, you have the best job ever. But I don't even feel like it's a job. I just feel like it's my life.
It's a passion.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, but that's just who I am. You've known me before my fair days. I think that, once I believe in something, that I just jump in with both my feet and start running. So,
what are some of the things that we can look forward to in the future?
Well,
where do you want to go in the future?
We definitely want to add a big name concert, and we talked about doing it this year, but it, for a couple of different reasons, it didn't happen. But we definitely want to incorporate that into the fair. We've talked about making like a yesteryear village, like an old Florida village.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Infrastructure. We need infrastructure. People are like, oh my gosh, you have so much room. Why can't, we be a vendor and this person be a vendor? We just don't really have the infrastructure for that. And we're growing and we're getting there. And we will,
So where would the infrastructure come from? Would it be developing areas that aren't already used for the fair?
Yes. Yep. And they are being used. They're just not being used for what our vision is, maybe in a couple of years, right? It's maybe parking or, things like that. So
I'm glad you brought up parking, because one of the things that you need to know if you're going to the fair is you need to know, for one thing, there's just a few roads that lead to the fair.
That is
correct. So if you're trying to get there for a certain time, you need to allow a little bit extra time.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. Allow yourself extra time.
And then you also need to allow yourself time to come in from the parking lot. But there's other options. If you have special needs, you've got other options.
We have trams and we have handicap parking. And if you're on a motorcycle, they'll send you up to the front. So, yes, there are other options. But speaking of parking, we use the Explorers, the Sheriff Explorers, and we just adore them. They're amazing. They do a great job out there. I know there's a lot of people who get frustrated with them, but they're doing their job, and they're doing a great job. And we're thankful to pay them the money that we do, so those Explorer kids can go on and maybe, go to sheriff's school or take a trip or, you know.
So you're actually giving them money for their
Oh,
program.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are the sole, I'm pretty sure that we are the sole supporter of their program in St. Lucie
awesome
County.
To hear. Well, that's a great partnership too.
Yeah.
And they're there guiding the cars in and telling you where to go. And if you are coming to go to a certain event, make sure you allow yourself extra time. Maybe get there earlier. Are there times where it's easier? The traffic is less busy around there?
Yes, right when we open, on Friday and Saturday night, everybody's trying to get to the rodeo, so come early. It's best to just get there early, have something to eat, relax, listen to one of the bands. We have 3 stages now. We added another stage. There is a stage in the Home Arts building, so if you want to get out of the heat or the cold, you can go in there and listen to a band. So check the website, stluciecountyfair.org. And that's where all of our entertainment is. And there's a lot. If you have any questions, you can always call the office, too.
Do you have social media, too?
Oh, yes.
So people can like and follow you on Facebook,
Yes.
St. Lucie County Fair, and on Instagram, I'm assuming.
And TikTok. Yep. Yeah, we're on there.
And you also can, if you're at the fair, if you want to take a picture and tag yourself.
Yes.
And hashtag yourself.
Yep.
So people can see who's on at the fair and who's having fun. That it's kind of tried and true to say something for everyone, but there is really something. And as the fair has grown and changed over the last 58 years, that there's as the population of St. Lucie County has grown and changed too, it reflects the changes of the population too. But it opens on Friday night, and that is the 24th.
Yes.
And then that opening time is
4 p.m.
4 p.m. And then the rodeo is that Friday night.
Yes. Yep, starts at 7:30.
And, of course, you don't have to worry about getting dinner because there's plenty to eat at the fair.
Yes.
Then it runs for the next 10 days with the weekday hours
At 4 o'clock.
starting at 4, and then on the weekends, what time again?
Noon.
At noon on the weekends.
Yep.
So there's plenty of opportunities to go to the fair. It's a St. Lucie County tradition.
It is.
Buy your tickets ahead of time because you can save money, or look at ahead of time at the specials that you can get, with the days you can get in free and the days you pay $2 to get in. If you've got any comments or questions, you can reach Christine through the St. Lucie County Fair website.
Yep. Absolutely.
Christine Ionotti.
Yeah.
Ionotti.
Ionotti.
Is
Yeah.
If you saw the spelling of her name versus the pronunciation, you'd understand why I'm always so cautious of it. But she has been our guest, and she is the general manager of the St. Lucie County Fair. You've been listening to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. We'll see you next week with more.
The Sue Ellen Sanders Show on WPSL, Port St. Lucie.
Smell the tree and you can smell the mud coming down. You can smell it, the soil, yeah.
Fortunately, there were no injuries reported. Matt Bigler for CBS News, Pleasanton, California.
The Buffalo Bills are gearing up for their rematch against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday, but this time it'll mean a little bit more for the Bills to get that W. Head coach Sean McDermott says